Second gen Cummins turbo diesel, boy. What is up, guys? Welcome back to Tacos, Turbos, and Toothpicks. And I was kind of thinking, let's do a little turbo talk. We ain't really talked much about the second gen swap that we put on this thing. So I thought I'd tell you guys a little bit about what I did, see if it can save you guys some money, or if you guys just realize, hey, it's not for me, I'm just gonna buy a complete kit that's already done. Either way, I think it's a win-win. So basically where I'm gonna start off is I put my own kit together because I already had most of this stuff laying around from where I had this turbo on my second gen. So that's a whole different story. Tried to spool up on the 12 valve. Wasn't the greatest thing. One day I woke up and I was just like, just get a third gen, slap it on there, call it a day, run 770, and not have to worry about trying to get that P pump to spool up this thing. So that's what I did. So without further ado, let's dive into this second gen swap. So I'm trying to remember to cover everything, go over some pricing, and in the end we'll go over how much it cost me all together, and then compare it to some kits that you can just buy already done and over with. So to start off here, we got a Fleece Air Filter. I think it's roughly $60–65 from most retailers. This is a 5-inch stainless steel pipe. Obviously you'd have to cut a hole and stuff like that for the map sensor, which I did not do. And then moving over here to this side, we have this, let's see if I can get the HSP diesel silicone coupler. It is a 5.5 to a 5-inch 45-degree angle. And then moving on to the manifold, it's got a BD manifold flipped up with stainless diesel studs. I think the studs were about $80 and the BD manifold retails for $560. And then looking at what's bolted onto the manifold, this is a BorgWarner S472-92 9.0 housing built by Barter Turbos. So instead of the 83 or 87 turbine, it has a 92. And then I put the 9.0 housing on it because I wanted to try to help spool on my 12 valve as much as I could. Kind of wishing now on a third gen that it had a bigger exhaust housing, but it seems to work for right now. So we'll see what happens. And then we're moving to the oil feed. I got this from EvilFab. I think this was about $80. And then my friend Matt helped me build a oil drain line. He had an AN kit, and we were able to cut and measure and build our own oil drain going into the block. So going into the exhaust side of it, we have stainless diesels, build your own downpipe. You can pretty much tell them everything you got going on with your setup and have them build it, weld it, put it all together, send the clamp with it. We ended up just welding it ourselves, so saved $40. I think those run anywhere from $150 to $250 depending on the extras that you want on it. So yeah. Next, moving down here, we have the Fleece S400 Discharge elbow. I think this is $60. Comes with the V-band clamp and the O-ring that goes in here. And then you can see my little setup here is just a factory discharge tube going into the intercooler. I ended up cutting down this a little bit. Had this 3-inch coupler laying around. Got a couple of spring-loaded T-bolt clamps on here, and just running to the intercooler. So I will say when you pay a little extra money from an actual company that puts these kits together, those have a one-piece design, so you have a lot less room for failure where you don't have these silicone couplers in your way. So that is definitely something to think about. That pretty much lays out my second gen swap, and as you can see, most of the stuff I had from my second gen already, so I was just able to basically swap it onto here. I think the only things that I needed was an intercooler pipe, a down pipe, and a oil drain were the only things that and a manifold, because you know, obviously 12 valve manifold doesn't swap over to a 24 valve. But pretty much everything else I already had, so that's why it made sense for me to just piece together my own. Well, what is up, guys? Welcome to my little classroom. Had to bust out the dry erase board just to get fancy with it. Hope Jasmine doesn't mind me borrowing it, making a mess out of it, as you can see. Well, don't pay attention to my sloppy handwriting, but I just tried to lay out for you guys what my setup had, what it entailed, how much it cost, would I do it again, would I not do it again, whatever. If you guys have any questions, drop them down in the comments, and I'll try to get to them when I can and answer them as best as I can. So essentially, like I said outside, I had a lot of this stuff already from the second gen, so a lot of it was already used. I just had to purchase a couple of things to complete the kit. I'm not going to include the manifold or the turbo in the price because there's just so many different variables with buying a new, a used, or if you already have a turbo. If you wanted a smaller turbo like an S464 or an S300 versus a bigger like S476 or an S480 or something like that running a second gen swap. Obviously there's so many different prices that I can't really sit here and compare them all. Same thing with the manifolds. You can spend $400 on a DPS manifold, or you can spend almost $700 on a steed speed. Like, there's just too many variables to throw in here. So I'm just gonna go over the stuff that you need to throw this kit together. Either way, my average price that I came up with was $900 for all this stuff. So obviously that can change a little bit, but that's what I came up with. We can jump over here to the complete kits, which I'm not knocking at all. I definitely, to start from scratch, I probably would have went this route. I follow all these companies on social media for the most part, and they've all got high quality stuff, cool looking stuff, and I would definitely check it out if I were to do it all over again. So looking up Evil Fabs is your most expensive at $1,800 just for the kit, but they do offer a turbo blanket and a coolant bypass, I believe, which none of these other companies offer. So it is a little bit more pricier, but they do use stainless as well, which is a little bit more expensive. Jumping down to full send diesels stage 1, because they have a stage 2 as well, is only $50 difference. I really don't know the difference, but their stage 1 was $1,400 and pretty solid kit. Comes polished. I don't know if they offer any powder coating that I saw on their website, but I could be wrong. Jumping down to Slosh Fab. Now, as you can see, that price is a lot higher. I know Slosh Fab stuff. I've seen it in person. My buddy Trent, Melting Pistons down in North Carolina, I know he runs his kit on his dad bod truck, and he's put it on some of his friends' trucks. So I know the quality's there, and it all looks very good. But I couldn't find a website for Slosh Fab. I found a company selling their second gen kits, and there wasn't a lot of options to really do. The only option you had was which turbo do you want and if you want a manifold or not. So the cheapest option I came up with was $3,000 with an S472 that I just typed in without a manifold. And I'm sure if you hit them up on Instagram or social media, something, I think that's how he runs his business page, but I could be wrong. Don't shoot the messenger. I didn't do a lot of investigating. I just literally Googled it, and that's what I came up with. So I'm assuming once you subtract the turbo price, just buying one of his second gen swaps, you're in the $1,400 to $1,800 price range, I'm sure. Maybe a little more or less. I don't know. But still, same quality, good stuff. Check out Melting Pistons' YouTube channel. and you can see his kit. It's a pretty solid kit. Whirly Fab is down here, one of the cheaper options, but I'll be honest, for me, not being the smartest fish in a barrel, I do like how they simplify their website and they break everything down for, I mean, which kit you want, the year of your truck, the turbo you want, if you want it powder coated, do you need a manifold, do you need manifold studs? They offer different powder coating options for the turbo cover, also for the intake pipe if you wanted to get crazy and add a bunch of different colors. And then the thing I liked is they even throw in a valve cover option. They sell a D&J valve cover, and you can get that powder coated the same color as well. So I kind of like that option. I mean, you can definitely rack up your checkout bin pretty quickly, but for guys like me who just want to order everything from one website instead of having to jump over here and order this and jump over here and order that. So lastly, I decided to throw in the old Smeding kit over there because I kind of realized it was unfair to compare my pricing to these guys who have much better quality kits. So I felt a little bad for comparing all these guys to my price, because you look at the price difference, it's a pretty big jump, but you're definitely getting a lot more with them than you are with just piecing your own kit together. I would just say that. So Smeding's a little bit more comparable to mine. They don't have a one-piece intercooler pipe. They use silicone couplers instead of full metal pipes, and I've heard they've had some fitment issues, which is kind of what I ran into with building my own kit. And I'm not saying everybody has fitment issues. I'm not knocking the product. I'm just saying I've just heard through the grapevine that it's a tight fit or it doesn't fit very well. But it is one of on the cheaper side of a second gen swap. So if you check out Dirty Diamond's YouTube channel, they did one on a third gen. I want to say it's probably been over a year ago on a silver third gen, the guys over there. So they talk about installing that kit over there if you want to check that out. I'll try to put links to all these places in the description. At the end of the day, once I added in my manifold 560 and my used turbo for 1100, out the door, my second gen swap cost me $2,500. So you can't beat it. It's not the craziest looking. It doesn't have all the pretty paint or polish or stuff like that, but it's functional. And for less than $3,000, I'm happy with that. Pretty much with most of these kits, you're looking at over $3,000 to $4,000 for some of these kits with turbos and manifolds. So definitely save some money, but I also didn't mind running some used stuff and not having a bunch of powder coated parts. Whereas if you spend the extra coin, you're getting all brand new turbo, manifold, all the parts you need, and everything's nice shiny, where mine's not very shiny. So I just wanted to give you guys the numbers. You guys can do with it what you want. It's your money, it's not my money. I'm just telling you what I did, and hopefully it helps one of you guys on there. I mean, if it doesn't help you and this is dumb, then I'm sorry. Tell me in the comments and I'll try to do better next time. That's all I can do is, to get better at this stuff, because I'm not a pro, okay? Not a pro YouTuber. I'm in my kitchen / living room / bedroom right now. Like, what do you want from me? I want a dry erase board, so I'm making it work. But I'm gonna get out of here, leave you guys to this. I know, yeah, this is my house, but I'm gonna leave, so. All right, Triple T out.